Hi, I'm Owen McDonald.
I'm Zoe Dreger. I'm Lauren Connolly.
I'm Bill Orr.
I'm Mason Vidal. I'm here in the red and blue, and we'll be presenting you the United Beef Packers case.
John McCullough is the Assistant General Manager at United Beef Packers Blue River Processing Plant. He's been working with UBP for 3 months and is already disgusted by their unethical treatment of their employees as well as their dubious and possibly illicit safety and health procedures. Concerned by legal liability, his family's well-being, and his own mental health, McCullough has been considering leaving for some time. To make matters worse, he has recently been tasked with firing Bobby Vasquez, a line worker who has suffered a heart attack. As UBP upper offices no longer want to pay his medical bills, they have asked John to fire him as soon as possible, leaving him no time left to consider his decision. As he must deal with the Vasquez situation quickly, he now needs to decide what he's going to do.
So for ownership and management, John McCullough is the assistant general manager at the Blue River Processing Plant. Wholly Pure Foods took over the company in the mid-1980s, and John's job involves many operational demands, like taking care of floor supervisors, and general manager Greg Kramer's job is to oversee the total processing plant.
The current strategy of the United Beef Packers is to continue being one of the best functioning beef processing plants in the United States. They do this by having a high processing rate of 350 cattle per hour. Their worker issues are handled quickly, and floor supervisors are trained to keep lines moving as well as employees working. They also like to keep the company name clean and trustworthy. They do this by selling secondary meat under a different label, protecting the company from reprimand if any problem occurs. When handling the E. coli outbreak, they also held a press conference and recalled the meat, which adds value to their name.
So for current markets, our first one is to keep the industry competition alive. Ken Hill buying a new plant down the road, firing all current employees to try and deal with the results of the recession. Also, 1980s, 20% of the beef processed by main four beef packers, now 82% in the 21st century. Also cutting down on the spread of infected meat. Second is the UBP's relationship with the union. The 1980s recession complicating UBP and the union's relationship. Due to no union connection, employees are paid 25 to 40% higher than the industry average, and also a result of high industry turnover. Less than a third of all meat packers are ununionized.
For industry and competition, UBP competes in the highly competitive American meatpacking industry. Recent media has claimed unsafe work conditions, poor hygiene, tainted meat, as well as food poisoning. In the year 2000, the top 4 companies produced 82% of the beef available for sale in the United States. And to minimize expenses, most meat processing employees are immigrants, legal or otherwise, and beef consumption in the United States continues to rise annually.
Some key success factors of United Beef Packers is that they're represented by the American Meat Institute, which means they get advanced warning on all safety and health inspections. They also can, because they're self-insured, can force their employees to sign a waiver that disallows them from suing the company for injury. On top of that, they maintain a high employee turnover, which discourages them from forming a union.
For our SWOT analysis, a couple strengths that UBP possesses are they have control of their own safety specifications, so they can choose when they want to get safetied, and they have good processing times.
Some weaknesses are they're not unionized, corrupted managers, and have uneducated foreign workers.
Some opportunities that they can entail in the future are they have cheaper labor costs for illegal immigrants coming in from Mexico. The consumption of meat in North America keeps rising, and in 26 years, the hourly wages have grown $10.
Some threats, they have tainted meat, toxic work environment, and legal battles.
So for the first option, we have status quo, which is following through with the firing of Vasquez. So the pros of this option is John's family will be able to remain in Omaha, as well as Kramer will now think higher of him, and John will now be able to make improvements for the UBP from inside the business as he will not remain in his position. Some cons of this issue is it will negatively affect John's morale as he does not want to fire Vasquez. Other employees' opinion of John will surely be negatively affected if they hear what happened, and this could also put John in a vulnerable position legally if legal action is taken. For our second option, we have refused to fire Vasquez. Some pros of this option is it positively affects John's morale, as well as he could have a newfound respect from his coworkers. And due to contract, even after being fired, John will continue to get paid. Some cons to this option is John will inevitably be terminated from his position at the company. Kramer could also potentially try and sabotage John's business reputation, and John's family will surely be uprooted again. And for a third option is to resign from the company before firing Vasquez. This option will allow John to leave the company without the negative effects of being fired, as well as he will not have to fire Vasquez. And he can find better employment opportunities elsewhere because of his current qualifications. Some cons to this option are John will now be unemployed and he will not have adequate time to find other means of employment.
The fourth option would be to offer an alternative to the company. So John could convince Greg Kramer to hold off on firing Vasquez and continue providing him with medical benefits until he is recovered to prevent Vasquez from suing for unlawful termination. Some pros of this would be that John could potentially keep his job without having to fire Vasquez. His family would be able to remain where they are, and Kramer may admire John for not wanting to risk a lawsuit for the company. Some cons would be that this could be seen as just paying off Vasquez to keep him from suing and sharing his story. It would only help Vasquez and do nothing to improve the situations of other line workers. John himself could be fired for not cooperating, and his family would be uprooted again if he had to find another job. Since John has witnessed many negative aspects since he came to UBP, he could go to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration and help them to build a case against the company. Some pros of this would be that Kramer, as well as other supervisors that have been involved in illegal activity, could be removed from their positions at the company. It is in line with John's morals, and his coworkers will admire John for being able to make a difference in this corrupt company, and he will not be able to be legally fired for being a whistleblower. Some cons are that his claims to the OSHA may not be taken seriously if he doesn't take the time to gather valid evidence. It would be time-consuming to build the case, and this could still cause hostilities within the workplace. The sixth option would be to organize a union. Some pros of this would be that employees would finally have a say, and they could improve their working conditions, which would lead to fewer injuries, and the company would have less medical bills to pay in the future. Some cons of this is that the option is very implausible based on the company's destruction of the last union and could potentially lead to everyone involved getting fired. And if it were to succeed, it would take longer to implement than any of the other options.
So for our decision criteria, we came up with 5 decisions. The first one is time to implement. Due to the recent uproar and health concerns for John, his staff, his family, and the public, it's important to have a timeline before the problem keeps snowballing. So we set a maximum day count of 30, and John and the beef packers need to implement this plan before legal action comes down on him and the company.
The second thing was moral responsibility. As John's job is to help solve worker issues, each option will be assessed on a scale from -2 to 2, based on how it impacts John's morality. -2 would go against all John's morals, 0 would have 0 impact, and a +2 would go for all of them. For an option to be recommended, it must have a positive effect. The third option is job and family security. As John's family uprooted and moved to Omaha, Nebraska, to allow him to take the job at UBP, it's important that the option allow John and his family to feel secure in their situation. For an option to be the option will be assessed on a scale from 0 to 5, 0 giving no security, 5 complete security, and 3 is an average amount. Family must have a score of 3 or higher, and job security must have a score of 1 or higher.
Our fourth decision is business reputation. It's important that John maintains his quality reputation. If he seeks future advancement in the company or elsewhere, they will look at his past accomplishments. By keeping the company's previous high standard of ethics, he needs to retain his reputation by putting quality first. John's business reputation will be rated from 0 to 5, 0 being bad and 5 being a good reputation.
So for our last one is health concerns. John's health concerns are a major factor in his employment. He needs to ensure that his health comes first, as his job has a ton of safety conditions not met. After only the third month of this job, he could already sense health concerns. John lost sleep, had no appetite, depression, and the smell of cattle all around him every day. If John continues to work for the process plant, he will continue to be scared of the liability placed upon him for the safety of his family and the public. John, his family, and the public's health concerns will be evaluated from -2 to 2. -2 being unacceptable and 2 being acceptable. It needs to be above a 1 to be considered.
So for the comparison matrix, self-inflictions are scaled from a -2 to a 2, and general decision criteria are scaled from 0 to 5. For minimum criteria, for moral responsibility, it needs to be a positive number. For job and family security, job has to be a score of 1, and family has to be a score of 3. For health concerns, it needs to be a minimum of 1. Business reputation needs to be a score of 3 or above, and time to implement needs to be a 30-day implementation plan. So for status quo, it's off right away because the moral responsibility is -1. Refuse to fire, for job and security, the job entails 0. For offer an alternative, it's got a negative number under health concerns. And for organizing a union, it has a maximum day count of 40. So all 4 of those options are out, and the only ones left are resign and to become a whistleblower.
Our recommendation is option 5, which is whistleblower. This option allows John to protect his family, his job, and allows John to make a positive change in the UVP, protecting other workers from the same fate as Vasquez. This forces the company to change by improving health and safety problems, sticks to all 5 decision criteria, higher job security compared to option 3, the other option we considered, higher moral ranking, highest business reputation. It takes longer, but still a relatively short amount of time. With regards to Vasquez, we recommend John advise him to also become a whistleblower, therefore protecting his job.
So for our implementation plan, task 1 is to contact the OSHA, convince Vasquez to talk to the OSHA, observe all activity within the workplace, record and document all evidence, build case against the UVP, and implement it, and then go to trial. So to remove any confusion, task 1 to 5 are the only ones handled by McCullough, and task 6 and 7 are handled by the OSHA.
Any questions?